Welcome back to the channel, everyone. As you guys know, the Samsung Galaxy S9 is definitely not the newest phone anymore. It's definitely aged, and it's one of those phones that your grandma might talk to you about, you know what I mean? But I kind of want to hit on some of my favorite reasons as to why I would still 100% recommend the Samsung Galaxy S9 in 2020. Now, what I can tell you about this phone is that it's definitely not an old phone. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not an ugly phone. It's not a horrible phone, and there's still a ton of cool advantages to pick one up in 2020. Now, I will tell you the first and main reason probably would with any other used phone in this type of market would definitely be the price. When this thing was released, it costed hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and that's the price you pay for a phone like this, you know what I mean? But this phone since has seen some massive depreciation, and luckily for you, if you're buying this phone, it doesn't cost that, $800+ price tag anymore. It costs about, less than $300. I've seen a lot go for $260, $270, around that price tag, and that's a really good price to pay for a phone like this. It's not even that old. It came out in 2018. It's very, very good, and that's one of the main reasons why I would recommend picking up a Galaxy S9 in 2020. Now, if you want to pick one up for the price that I said, I'll find the cheapest one on Amazon and link it down below so you can get it from there and help support the channel at the same time. The next reason why I would recommend the Galaxy S9 in 2020 would definitely be that build quality and the screen combined, dude. Like, the build quality on this phone is amazing. It's one of the best build qualities still. I just picked it up like 2 seconds ago and I was feeling it in my hand and I'm like, dude, this phone is still a very, very premium phone, and that's why a ton of people are holding on to their older Samsung Galaxy phones like the S7s and S8s even, because they just feel so premium. You feel it in your hands, and you look at the market and you see the new phones that are coming out and you're like, man, these phones still hold up so well. And that's one of the biggest advantages for the Samsung Galaxy S9. It would definitely be the build quality and the screen. The screen is still one of the best screens in the market. Obviously it's way better than the iPhone XRs and iPhone 11s, and this panel for sure still takes the cake. It's still one of the best panels out on the market for sure. So that's definitely one of my favorite things about it. Now, the third thing, the software updates, and this is kind of a bad thing because it's ending on One UI 2, but for the time being, it's still kind of supported, which is good. There's a lot of phones that came out in 2018, even 2019, that are still kind of in that weird gray area, whether it's going to get the updates or not. This phone is getting the update if it hasn't already hit your phone already. A lot of my S9s still haven't gotten it, and this is one of the cooler things about Samsung. Their software updates lifecycle is still not that good, if I'm being honest, but they're better than a lot of other Android manufacturers, so I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I like how it got One UI 2, so I think that's a plus in a way. But if you don't want to do stock software support, you can always custom ROM this thing, and that's one of my favorite things about this phone. You can easily go custom ROM this thing, put a whatever type of ROM you want on it, and you'll be set for a very long time. And that's one of my favorite things about this phone for sure. It's not the end all be all. It's not like if you custom ROM it, all your problems will go away, but it's definitely a step in the right direction if you want to get amazing hardware with a really great software. And right now it just has amazing hardware, but if you custom ROM it, which is not that hard to do, I've done it many times on many Galaxy phones. If you know what you're doing and you can follow a tutorial, I'd 100% recommend custom ROMing your Galaxy S9. Now, the fourth or fifth thing, I don't remember where we're at. This thing not only has a headphone jack, which is cool and crucial, but it also has a micro SD card slot, which is awesome. And in 2020, a lot of phones, they still don't bring it. A lot of phones don't want to bring it, or whatever the case is. But this phone does have a micro SD card slot, which is so cool, and I love seeing that. And that's one of my favorite things. Anytime I see a phone with a micro SD card slot, I just get butterflies inside because it's one of my favorite things about a phone for sure. Now, the last thing, I combined like 5 different reasons into one thing. The camera quality of this phone is still great. If you go take pictures on this thing or whatever, it's still awesome. Even though it doesn't have a telephoto and ultra wide sensor, for the most part, it'll get you by. Obviously, if you want to step up, you can get the S9 Plus, or you can always get the S10 or whatever. But this phone, in terms of the camera, is still very good, and one of my favorite things about the phone for sure. This thing also has the USB Type-C port, which is so cool, and that's something that you might overlook. You might be like, oh, all phones have USB-C now, but that's the biggest advantage. All phones do have USB-C, and that's one of my favorite things. You can go and use all those cool little, you can do Samsung DeX on this thing, which is crazy. And you have a lot of cool little things you can do on a Galaxy S9 with that USB-C port. And this thing is also IP certified, you know what I mean? The Galaxy Z Flip that just came out isn't IP certified, but this thing is. So if you dip it in some water or something like that, you'll be fine. It's not going to break or anything like that. And in terms of this phone, bro, like what I've just told you is just a surface. If you're looking for a new phone in 2020, you don't necessarily have to buy the S20 or whatever the case is. You can go buy a Galaxy S9 for that $260 price tag and be set and still feel like you have a pretty decent phone on your hands. So those are just a couple reasons as to why I would recommend picking up a Galaxy S9 in 2020. If you have any questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so that means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate if you guys could check it out. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.